think other sports have. The first time you went to a game, the first time you sat there and had, popcorn or whatever. I dig baseball. I'm excited to have it back right now.
Joe, you had some baseball related questions for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead and what's your first question?
So just to preface, I like to start every season out with some predictions, some questions. This is how me and my friends always do it. So you guys talked about it a little bit. I would like to hear a set number on what you guys think the record will look like for the A's at the end of the year.
I think they win 78.
Okay.
I literally, that was the number in my head. 78 games.
Okay.
That's the official prediction of the Insider.
Cool.
78 and 84.
Yep. And I liked what James said, 85. That just sounds a lot more fun. So we'll move on, but 78 sounds about right.
Thanks. We're taking the over 72.5 for sure.
So yeah. I was talking to Jackie, and she actually had a really good question.
Jackie from Promotions.
Correct. Mm-hmm. She was saying, well, how do you think the fan base is going to sway? Are we going to see any new A's fans? Any new baseball fans in general in Sacramento? How do you think Sacramento is going to take to this team in the first year?
Great.
I think every game will be sold out without any question. I think it's going to be a lively atmosphere. I think the hill is really cool. Like the thought that, like going to River Cats games, that's always been cool.
Yep.
And I think that fans will glob onto that, especially the tickets go on sale the day of the game, I think. And they're only selling like 250 for seats for 20 or $25 a pop for the hill.
I'm interested. And again, we've talked about this before, but I'm fascinated to know if it's just a general interest in Major League Baseball games.
Yeah.
Or if it's like a diehard
fandom being created
bleeding green and gold. Is it going to be like a spring training atmosphere?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a River Cats atmosphere where it's just like not bad, but no, we're chilling. We're just hanging out.
Relaxed. Yeah.
Or is it like, hey, it's going to be loud. It's very small. So is there going to be this intensity? I'm really, really interested to see that. But
Same.
I agree with James. There's not going to be a game where there's an open seat.
No. And Sacramento has such passionate fans too. So I'm not too worried about that. Do you guys have a sleeper?
Something? What's that?
Did you have something?
No. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. Do you guys have any sleepers? Anyone on the A's that people might be sleeping on this year?
Ooh. Good question. This is not a sleeper, but I'm kind of wondering how Zach Geloff bounces back.
That is literally who I have written down.
Yeah, because he was really, really good as a rookie.
Yep.
Rookie year he hit 267, 337 on base. He had 14 homers, and that was in 69 games. Nice. But then last year, 188 strikeouts, led the league. He hit 211 on base below 300. He was at 270. I think there's a really, really good player there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so once he gets back from his injury, I'm interested to see if he can kind of bounce back and take a step forward from his rookie year.
Yep.
And not just, improve on last year's kind of abysmal showing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say too, for me, Tyler Soderstrom is a guy with like so much potential. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And he has not been able to really like get his teeth into the major league game yet. And I think he has a ton of potential. And I think that like people are gonna. He reminds me a little bit like the long swing of like Ben Grieve. Like I don't know if he's got the pop to be a an everyday first baseman right now. But he's going to play catcher. He's going to play first base. I just think he's a player with a ton of potential. And if he figures it out, he could be one of those guys that really elevates. And then the other one is Shea Langoliers. Langoliers quietly put up 29 home runs and 80 RBI last year.
Started figuring it out.
He did.
Absolutely.
And he's got all kinds of pop. He did strike out way too much. But I think he's going to be one of those guys. The A's had a lot of guys who struck out a ton.
Yeah.
Geloff 188, but Rooker had 177. Langoliers had 145. Even Seth Brown playing in limited role, 372 at bats, had 112 strikeouts. Yeah, lots of strikeouts. And same thing with Max Schumann. Max Schumann struck out 119 times and quietly put together a decent season playing almost every day. But yeah,
I think we're going to continue seeing that because I think the A's are very 3 true outcomes oriented.
Mhm.
So I think we're going to see them continue. I think they're going to hit a lot of dingers, and I think they're going to strike out a lot.
Yep.
Got a couple more?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's go.
So, how do you guys think Sutter will hold up in the first year? Sutter Health Park. Do you think we'll hear anything negative from opposing teams, the players, or anything like that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're definitely, some pitcher is going to have a tough night.
Yep.
And have something to say about the
Chris Sale.
ballpark. Yeah, it's actually, that's 100%.
It's going to be Chris Sale.
It's 1,000% going to be Chris Sale. Yeah, I think at some point someone will have something to say, and you may hear stuff like these little veiled shots.
Yep, I feel like that's gonna be very prominent.
But overall, I don't think it's gonna be like a problem. Like I don't think that it's gonna be a lead story of like, hey, we're in the middle of June and the A's home ballpark is a disaster. I don't think that's gonna be the case at all. They've taken a lot of steps toward making sure it's at least major league like viable, and then B, they've brought in like grass specialists.
Yeah, I heard about that.
To make sure that their infield and outfield can withstand 157 games or whatever are going to be played.
Yeah, in the heat. Yeah, I don't think you're going to hear a lot of negativity, to be honest with you. I mean, people might have some gripes, but then when you really get into a season, I think everyone's going to look at the players like, man, that's like some next level first world problems.
Yeah, good point.
I think what players are going to come out of the game, they're going to say, that was a packed house and it was a fun crowd. And it's like, not to be disrespectful, it's a lot better to go and play in front of like 14,000 people that are like on top of you than 6,000 people in a giant mausoleum that was a Coliseum. So I think the vibe will be cool. And I think players will enjoy it. They'll enjoy like the intimate setting. And I think it'll be a different experience than what people think it would be when they get there. They'll be like, hey, look at this. This place is packed. These people are like here and they're like engaged and it feels like they're on you because it's a very, very small park like inside. And the other thing, I think like fans that have not been to River Cats games, they'll realize very quickly that number one, the seats don't feel like they're normal Major League Baseball size seats. They're like 2 or 3 inches smaller. It's like you're flying on Spirit Airlines. The seats in Sutter Health,
shots fired at Sutter Health.
They're very narrow, and they also, for whatever reason, when they design the park, most of the seats don't face home plate like properly. So there isn't like a bow to the rows of seats, so they face. So a lot of times you're kind of jammed in your seat, and you're kind of having to look to the right or the left to actually see home plate. Which is very different, and that's why fans get hit with foul balls all the time at Sutter Health Field.
What's your last one?
So for the last one, let's make it simple. Do you guys have any hot takes? I got one.
I'd love a hot take.
Okay, so in the offseason, I said Brent Rooker will hit 50 home runs this year.
Jesus.
I kind of want to peel it back a little bit to 45.
Okay.
But what's the fun in that? So I'm going to stick with it. I talked to Charlie a lot in the offseason about just how the ball flies at Sutter Health. And if you kind of put that spray chart over how Rooker's been hitting, it's not impossible. So we'll do, I'll meet it right in the middle. 47 home runs for Brent Rooker this year. He's going to have.
Stick with 50.
50 it is.
Don't come off your hot take.
50 it is. Brent Rooker is going to hit a lot of home runs.
Lead the league in homers?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No. That would
Judge
be crazy.
60 again?
Yeah, something like that. But 50, man. 50 for Rooker. There we go.
Hot take. I think the A's are going to have 4 All-Stars.
I like that too. I had them at 3, but 4 is a good number.
Mason Miller, JJ Bleday, Lawrence Butler, and Brent Rooker.
Yep.
What? That's a hot take right there.
Going 4 All-Stars.
I'm going to say my hot take would be that, well, maybe it's not a hot take, that their starting pitching isn't going to hold up. And that's going to be the reason why they don't reach.
I think that might just be the correct take.
Another level. Outside of that, I think it's possible. Well, here's one for you. I think it's possible that Wilson wins Rookie of the Year.
Oh, there you go.
I actually had that down as well, and I really like that. So
all right,
there we go. I think we're all on the same page here. We're all very excited for baseball to come to Sacramento.
Yeah, man. I've actually got an underdog lineup tonight ready for baseball season. Yeah, dude, because baseball's here. It's opening day today.